What is up, Bucs fans? Happy Wednesday. Bucs Report, the aftermath. It's your boy AJ. Turn up with my host, Coach Slick. You know who he is, the British guy who's always fly and who always got a sly comment on standby. My man, what's up?
How is my man? How are you, dude? How's it going? Oh, look, he's good. Hey, I'm going to the gym next week.
My man, good for you. Look, start small if you do the benching. And look, here's a secret tip: if you want to get some more extra strength faster, do reverse bench. Reverse bench will help you.
Okay, bench. I'll look into it. I mean, the idea is to get back into shape and then add a bit to this, so the muscles, so the tattoos look better. Right. They look better with muscles. They look better with muscles.
Hey, Mike Evans will be pleased. He got the sleeves too. So, and I
told you, oh yes,
and all Bucs fans, we're gonna start this. I want to get this started now. He is Mike Elite Evans. It's all about me, Mike Elite Evans. That's what we're gonna start calling him because he is an elite receiver. But I hope you Bucs fans out there are ready because it is another glorious day for us. We finally hit our first day of training camp, and I know a lot of Bucs fans, we already want to start talking about the quarterback situation, but please share your comments and we will get to them and we will start talking about it because we're gonna assess it because we know everybody you Bucs fans out there already got made up in your mind of who's the quarterback and what you've seen and what you didn't see. So how about you? Let's break it down. Slick, first day of training camp, what you think?
I'm just glad we got Will Golston back, to be honest. That was a nice little number, you know. Saves a little bit against the cap as well because he had those voidable years, so that's always good. And you know, he's an old face that I think a lot of people forget that he's been a starter on this team for quite a while now. Yes, people always look at when people talk about defenses, they generally talk about the 4-3, which we're not. We're a 3-4. So a lot of people don't realize that the defensive line was actually Sue at its core. When it was in his 3-4 look, it was Vita, Sue, and Golston. A lot of people thought it was JPP, and I was like, no. JPP was the linebacker that was right next to him. So a lot of people didn't actually realize that this guy was starting for us, and he'd been starting for us for quite a while now. So great to have him back. Obviously, literally walking straight back into the scheme, so I don't have too many worries about that. And then we're going to always see what we're
doing. I agree. I'm very happy. Will Golston brings stability and consistency.
For sure.
He is great against the run. So the Bucs run defense, there is no excuse for this Bucs run defense to be mediocre.
One person different. That's all it is. One person different. And hopefully that'll be Elijah Cansey. Oh man, if he can get run heavy first and then start to build the pass rush into it.
Hell yes. I'm already set on Cansey. I actually think Cansey is gonna when it comes to the run, he's already gonna be instilled in that because he was good at stopping the run in college. Now NFL, of course, but I think in my opinion, stopping the run is an easier task to pick up better than the pass rush. And with that being said, I think Cansey is going to surprise a lot of people by getting to the quarterback too. I think he just has that quickness. He has that. He's going to be the guy that we want to get the sacks, and Vita Vea is the man to make sure that he's doubled. I don't want Vita Vea leading in the sacks in our teams. I want it to be either a linebacker or a defensive end. So with that being said, I believe in you, Cansey. I know you're going to do the damn thing.
That's all we need. And then, of course, we got I'd say we call it the elephant in the room or the Trask-sized elephant in the room. And
yes.
This is where it all starts, guys. This is where everyone starts discussing who's going to quarterback. This is where we're going to really read those Twitter reports from certain members of the news source. People, you like your Greg Olmans, but other reporters are available for your daily media consumption.
Yes.
they will be saying this person made this many passes, this guy missed this wide open, this guy missed this guy wide open, this person turned over the ball here. That's what we're going to get, and we're all going to sit here, and then we're going to see what they're going to do in the preseason games. And I've said this before. If you remember correctly, you joined. I believe you joined like after a couple of games of the season.
Yes.
Joined on it, and we started building this show.
Yes.
But I've been saying in preseason when people were saying like, well, certain players didn't make it, especially in the wide receiver room. And like people like Scotty Miller, who didn't have good preseasons, made it. And I was like, yeah, but who throws Scotty Miller the ball and who throws Devin Tompkins the ball?
Exactly.
It was Tom Brady, and Tom Brady will probably have a veto say on the kind of guys he wants to keep around. Doesn't matter how good a Devin Tompkins has a preseason. Ultimately, got him on the roster. The work that he did ended up getting him back on the roster, and it all worked out in the end. But my point being is, they went with who Tom Brady wanted, not. So it's not what you do in the preseason games, guys. It's what you do in the preseason itself as totality. The game is a good way to gauge if you've got the skill set and the stones to deal with a game scenario. But realistically, it's that. I'll tell you what, I'd say the biggest clincher is who does well when they either go to a team or a team comes to them and they stay with them for a few days. They got a name for it. When a team comes and camps with them over for about a few days before the preseason game. We had the Titans last year. I don't know if we go anywhere this year, but when they do that, those joint practices, when they do the joint practices, that's when that's where you need to shine.
I agree. I agree. I think you're on to something now. I will say this when it comes to the quarterback play. I'm going to tell Buck fans not to get your full hopes up. Baker Mayfield is not the perfect practice type of quarterback, in my opinion. We've talked about this before. Slick and I have said, Baker is the guy when you put him in the game, that's where he shines. That's where he's going to assess, and that's where he's going to make his mark. So for the media, he's not going to be your Brady-esque or your Peyton Mannings or your Mahomes where it's just, oh, look at what he did in practice. It was perfect. Baker Mayfield is the kind of player that he shines when it's time when the lights come on. So don't expect him to be throwing the most perfect passes in practice.
Nope.
I don't think a lot of Buck fans out there, because we were used to that. We got spoiled because with Brady was sensational.
Highlight reel, wasn't it? Every fucking day.
Yeah, he was a surgeon. But that's not how we're going to be with Baker. Baker is the guy where he's going to say, hey, look, I might not be perfect in practice, but when the game lights come on, I'm your guy. I'm going to improvise. I'm going to make things happen. I'm going to use my feet. And then Canales has already said we're going to establish a run. That is what I want to see in practice. I want to see what the damn run scheme is going to be like. I want to see this line. That is the biggest thing that I want to see in the preseason is the continuity of this line. That's what I'm ready for. What are we going to do with Wirfs on the left side? I think Wirfs is going to be just fine, but I still have high expectations for him. I still look at Wirfs being an above average left tackle.
Yeah, I think so. And look, this is the big thing for him. If he can make left tackle work, we've said this, me and you say this every time we talk about Wirfs. From a money point of view, sky's the limit because there aren't too many people who can play left and right tackle elite. And even if he just plays left tackle above average, just not Pro Bowl level, maybe just under it, that is in the conversation of a Pro Bowl. Let's say he gives up three sacks all season. That's really good for the left tackle position. That puts him in. He's a good left tackle, elite right tackle. That will pay. If he somehow turns it, he's as good as or just slightly under, so he's playing it at a Pro Bowl level. That guy can almost command whatever salary he fucking damn well pleases. He could just turn around. They just turn a blank check, whatever you want.
Yeah, it is going to be a blank check because they just signed the Giants lineman. I think he got like over 100-something million. Wirfs plays above average, like you said, above average. If he is literally a B average left tackle, oh my God, he's rich. Now, if he plays, can we imagine if he plays elite? We've established as Buck fans. Wirfs plays elite. That's the highest. That's going to be the highest left tackle in the league. He's going to
For sure.
surpass Trent Williams by so much because the
It,
guy is like 24, 25 years old.
yep.
Yeah, he's rich. He's rich. He knows damn well he's gonna do backstrokes of money like he did his rookie season when he jumped out of the pool. He's gonna be jumping out of the pool full of money.
With money. For
So
sure.
I'm ready. I am definitely ready for that. But that's my big thing I want to see in the preseason games. Typically, we don't truly see the starting team really start getting serious until the third game of the season, of the preseason. That's what I want to see there because typically they play the entire half. So I'm waiting on that. I want to see what Cody Mock is going to be up to. I want to see what our tight end Darm is going to be like. I haven't heard so much from him this today yet. The biggest news was Devin White being there.
Yep. And that's a good thing. Hopefully, this means there's no more drama, and we can just get on with the football. We can just get on with football because I don't want to hear about this anymore. I don't think it needs to be a story. Okay, yep, we know that he did what people called a hold-in. Did he do a hold-in? Did he not do a hold-in? There's been a discussion on, but with Bucs fans on that kind of stuff. And it comes down to what you think personally. I think some people believe it. If I'm honest, I don't really give a shit. Just play ball. Let's fucking stop with this bullshit and just I just don't need it. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm not done. I'm over it. Let's just play fucking ball. Show up and show out. Show up and show out. Or don't clock in and fuck around and find out.
Yeah, Keith said it best. If you want drama, there's TNT.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want drama,
you want drama.
Ready to fucking.
You want drama? There's a Tyler Perry film he can watch. You want drama? You can watch James Cameron. Just do something else. Just don't bring bring the drama on the field. I want to see you fluster quarterbacks. I want to see you make running backs feel upset. That is what we are going for this season, Devin. Show us why you deserve to be $100 million linebacker.
So we got a gentleman in the chat who would like to come and join us. If you want him on, I'll see if I can make that happen. All right,
Let's do
it. All right, can you do me a favor and keep talking about the topic while I go and figure this out because I haven't done this in so long.
Absolutely.
We usually have Keith doing this for us. So.
No problem. Right. So again, guys, we were talking about the first day of mini camp, and we're getting close to the preseason. I think the first preseason game will be in next week or so, in a few weeks. I'm ready to see what this run game is going to be like. I was just telling, like I said, for Slick, that's my concern. I'm not worried about the passing game. I think the passing game will be just fine. But our main concern, Bucs fans, is this run game because we don't want Baker Mayfield throwing the ball 30 times. In the first few weeks for the offense, the most I want to see him throw is 25 times. I want them to run the rock at least 15 attempts. And that's going to do a lot because, as we already know, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to the running back situation. And this right here, that's another great topic we want to talk about. So, a side note, everybody's aware that Saquon Barkley got $11 million. People thought he punked out, but I'm telling everybody this season is critical for running backs. Running backs, the key thing that I tell everybody, your health is number one priority. If running backs can stay healthy and be productive and be a key component of why the offense is fine, running backs, you're going to get your respect and you're going to get the bag. But it's going to be up to you guys. If too many running backs, I think the Steelers running back already is out for the season. So that's not a good start for the running back company. Just stay healthy and be productive. Running back, you stay healthy and be productive, you're going to be fine. So that means for Rachaad White, I need you to stay healthy and I need you to be productive. If Rachaad can give us 1,200 yards, we're going to be thankful. We haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since Doug Martin, and that's been a while now.
Yeah.
So that's my thing on the running back situation. Would you like to chime in and add
I think it's just logical to kind of not want to put the entire franchise on a quarterback that you're trying to get up to speed. It's a lot easier to get it's a lot easier to get a rushing attack up to speed than it is to get an entire quarterback on playbook. And I know people probably sat here going, well, you got all of preseason, and go, oh, maybe that's why they should name the starter now. It's not just that. It's just getting the feel for the game, a whole new system, all of it, game time, all that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, if you can get a solid rushing attack and you're not having to lean on the quarterback too much week one, he can get his confidence, he can get his feet wet, he can get comfortable, and then maybe the next game or the game after that, he starts to take off. It's not like it's all about momentum. And I think if you can get old Mo momentum on your side, it's a great thing, because if you run the football, he's feeling confident, they win the game, he feels good. Go into the next game, he's going to feel good going, okay, I know I got this run game. Now I can sling it a bit. They open up the playbook a little bit for him, let him have a few more reps, so maybe he goes to 30 passes instead of 25. And then so forth. And it builds and builds and builds, especially if they're winning games or it's tight or it's close or they're in competition of the game. And he's not the reason they're losing it, because the moment you turn around and go, dude, it's all on you, he could fold. And that's where you see a quarterback downward spiral because they fucked up from the get-go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, first game, he goes in and we play, I can't remember who we're playing week one off the top of my head, but we play.
I think it's Minnesota.
Sorry? Yes, it is Minnesota. We go, I can't remember if we're traveling or not, but we play Minnesota and he goes 225 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. It's not good. Not good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's going to leak into the next game, because there's like, I don't know if I can do this. There's a level of doubt. Like, is greatly conditioned as these players are, there's a level of doubt. If you can lean on your run game when the chips are down, it does help a quarterback. And it helped him in Cincy. They won game. That's not Cincy, sorry, at Cleveland. It allowed him to win games. So
that's right.
I think the biggest problem they had there was the whole. I do generally think the whole debacle with him and Odell Beckham Jr. was kind of one of the things that kind of pushed him out. Probably didn't make him
I agree.
believe in himself.
No, I agree. Well, Odell was being such an IG honey, so he was fucking up the program in the chemistry. When you are IG honey's like attention. You can't be that way. And a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people in the locker room were like, well, Odell, shit, you're not even when you're on the field, you're acting like you're Devontae Adams or Mike Evans or these elite guys out here. You have talent, but that's it. That's as far as it goes.
He was elite a long time ago. I mean, he shows flashes that he hasn't lost it. He's showing flashes that he hasn't completely lost it, but he's never been consistent enough to string it together. I'll bring in our guest. Please allow us to bring in and brought in a guest off the streets these days in quite a while, Eric Monroe. He's going to join us. We've had him on before, I believe.
What's going
on, Curry? What's going on, Slick? What's going on, man?
It's Camp Live, baby. It's training camp live. We're getting closer to
it's football season, baby. Let's go, baby. Yeah.
I'm digging that shirt, though. That's a fire shirt. That's a nice shirt.
Where's that 98? All I'm thinking is they're nervous about him going to left tackle. I mean, he was like 51 last year on the top 100. That's not right.
It should really be voted upon what they've done that year, not what's coming up. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It's the 100 best players of 2022. So I don't think they should really be. If they're doing stuff like that, that's just ridiculous. Because you could take any guy who's gone to any team and just say scrub them off the list because we don't know what they're going to do.
It's a narrative situation, folks. Now that Brady is gone, apparently, I guess Brady plays every position now because all of a sudden the team has just been devalued so low. Worth should be at least in the 40s or the 30s.
The only way I will let it slide,
like he was last year. I
don't even think he allowed a sack last year. I have to go back and check, but
I will check for us.
He's still
5 pressures all year. 5. That's 5. That's elite.
He has always been elite. if he played for a more popular franchise, he would get the respect he deserves. Because if that's the case, where the hell is Mike Evans going to be? If Mike Evans is in the 60s or 70s, I'm going to lose it. Evans should at least be in the 50s or 40s as well. They're not just.
Mhm.
We know that a lot of Buck players still won't get the respect that they deserve just because of Tom Brady. But this is why it's
Yeah,
important.
he did not give up an entire sack all season.
I told you. I knew that. I figured he did not do that. So hell, he should be in the top 30s or at least 25. How do you not give up a sack? And we all know
He
what.
missed 3 games with the ankle sprain, right?
Yes.
3 or 4 games. Okay.
Players miss games all the time, and they still get. Aaron Donald got a 99 on Madden. I'm like, okay, is this a popularity contest? Aaron Donald at most should have been in a 92, not no damn 99. Nobody remember. Aaron Donald didn't even he barely had a 90-something season. He wasn't dominant this season. He didn't do shit.
Yeah.
It's the names. It's just the names. So I don't understand. It's a popularity thing. I want to know. I think Slick was on to something a while ago where he said they just look at a certain years. And then I don't think if you are under the age of 25, you should not be in these rankings because you don't know what the hell you're talking about, especially if you're not doing the research. There is no way Aaron Donald should have been a 99. No way. Aaron Donald should have been a 92.
They got Evans at like 90, 92 and ranked like the 15th best receiver. I don't know about that.
Which is dumb. He should have been top 10.
Yeah.
So
look, I think that's just football for us, and they're going to dog on our guys. Look, all he can do is put in another good season and keep stacking. There comes a point when if you are considered one of the best tackles in the league, like I said, I'm going to be interested to see who comes through on this list because realistically, there's maybe 3 other guys, and that's because they play the left tackle position, which is considered more important, and I'll give that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will give that. But there are only a couple of them that you can arguably are better. Maybe 5, but maybe 5. But to be in a group of top, to be in that group of the 5 best offensive tackles in all of football is elite, and I don't see how a top 5 offensive tackle is ranked that low. There'll be safeties, there'll be wide receivers that are going to be like ranked 15th. That might still be ahead of him, and that's ridiculous. He'll get, like I said, me and you. If he gets his payday, he's literally doing that to them.
Yes, and
you know what I mean, it's like, you don't think I'm 90. You think I'm 90 fucking 8. Watch this, and he puts in a season that he puts in. Even if he puts in as good as and then he puts it together, and they turn around and go, right, you're this much, and he breaks the bank for offensive tackles, or he's just under the bank. Guys, they have no argument. There is no argument for it, and I'm sure there's media going to speculate about this tomorrow, and when it's all said and done, there's people who know how good this guy is. There are plenty of people. The media does love Tristan Wirfs, and I believe that over the years, Mike Evans also he started to get more respect, and I think that's because Brady came to town and put the spotlight on him, and that's allowed more people to see what Mike Evans can truly do. So now he's getting his respect. It's just late. It's the same with Levante David. Levante David is getting his respect a lot more than he ever would, than he did in years past, and it's because of Brady being here and highlighting him enough. It's a shame for any player that comes after the Brady era. They're not going to get that love straight away. They're going to have to really work for it.
I agree, Slick. This is why it's very important for this Bucs team this season to make it happen. The Bucs win 12 games this season. You already did it. This would be just like this to this organization, to the media, because now, wait a minute. You had all this shit because a lot of people are sold on Derek Carr as if they're acting like Derek Carr is coming to a team like Brady did when he came to the Bucs in 2020. No. The Saints' defense is slowly declining. Their offensive weapon pieces are inconsistent. Their coaching staff is inconsistent as well. Falcons, they're rebuilding. Panthers rebuilding. You have more question marks in all three of those teams than the Bucs. The Bucs are bringing back their solid defense. The Bucs have their offensive weapons. So, and no disrespect to Brady, but now you have a mobile quarterback. What do you think is going to happen if Canales makes great calls? If he runs a bootleg and Evans is open,
Yep.
or Godwin and Russell Gage, the other guy who actually I saw in the practice is doing very well. I won't be surprised if Gage comes out this season and makes it happen if he stays healthy, Slick, because he did a cut in one play. I was like, damn, maybe if Gage stays healthy, Godwin can be Godwin's already more versatile, but now Gage can be the slot guy. And you can put Godwin on the outside some more and make things happen. We got a lot of things. So, Eric, I wanted to ask you this. So far after today, if you saw the mini camp, what is your thoughts right now on 3 players on the offensive side and 3 players on the defensive side? Who are you looking at?
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and I mean, you got to go with the quarterback. Baker. That's gonna. You could win the game, or you could lose the game. Baker reminds me a lot of Jameis. He can make a great play, and the next play he'll throw in 3 defenders. I'm like, what the heck was that? And then he'll make a great play. So I think he can have a good year. I like Canales a lot. So with the bootlegs, as you were saying. So should be pretty interesting.
All right. What about the defense? Defensive players?
Jamel Dean, I thought we were going to lose him, but I mean, I think he's a top 10 corner. Levante David and Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett got hurt last year. He was on his way to a monster game and tore his Achilles. So yeah, those 6 players, 3 on offense and 3 on defense.
I can dig it. They're talking the way Shaq is talking. He's talking as if he's going to be starting or coming out playing the first game of the season. I hope the Coach Bowles says, "All right, I enjoy the enthusiasm, but let's take it easy. Let's slowly."
I think with Shaq Barrett is that he's not on the physically unable to perform list. That's a really good thing. Whereas Chris Godwin was all through preseason, so he's already, well, at minimum he's 4 weeks ahead of the curve. So that's a good thing in that sense. But I get what you mean. Let's be cautious and not go overboard. I would say maybe let him have a little taste in the 3rd preseason game. Let's not rush him back in, or maybe dip his toe in the 2nd preseason game, because it doesn't really matter. It's preseason. Nobody wants to play to die in preseason. We all know that our fantasy teams, and I fucking hate fantasy leagues that draft for fucking preseason. I always do my own the one I do with my family and my friends and what have you. That one's always done the first Saturday after the preseason's done, because it just ruins your season. You get there, you got your Saquon Barkley, whoever you drafted, and you're like, yeah, this team's fucking elite. Dead before week 1. Fucking why fucking bother? And it's your first pick or whatever. You know what I mean? It ruins it. I get it. Some people turn and say it's not for the faint-hearted, but I'm not about that. But 3 guys for me. I'm going to go up defense first, because defense is what I live for. So I'm going to go with. Take a look at these rookies. I want Kalijah Kanti. He's coming into a spot that was originally owned by Sue previously, or Akeem Hicks previously. This guy's got to step the fuck up straight away. There are no stop signs. There are no speed limits. This motherfucker's got to go, go, go. So the next guy, it's Devin White, because Devin White, we know what Levante's going to do. I'm not worried about Levante David. I don't need to worry about Levante David, because Levante David has never given me reason to worry. However, Devin White has given me plenty of reasons to worry based on last season. If he can recapture what he did in 2020 or even 2021, this defensive front will be straight up elite. The second person is one person might go a little bit under the radar. I like the Shaq thing, but I'm going to lean to his new buddy that's going to join him on the side, and that will be Diaby. I really got a good feeling about DRB. I'm hoping that this guy really shines. It's either DRB or the other safety that we brought in. Those are the two guys I'm like, oh, it's neck and neck because it's starting positions, and it's starting positions you really want to get a feel for, especially if they're new guys. You want to get that down. You want to get those guys in ready to rock and roll. So on the offense, it's always got to be the quarterback, and we pretty much know in our heart of hearts, as much as I'd love Trask to win this job and be elite and what have you, because it saves the Buccaneers cap space next year because we don't have to re-sign somebody like Baker Mayfield, who's going to command a good salary if he has even if he has a good season, not a great season, just a good season, he's probably going to get retained just on the fact, unless the Buccaneers pick have a really good pick. It's the only way they would move off him. If they get a top 20 pick, they're going to keep Baker Mayfield for another year just to see what shakes loose. So I'm looking at Baker and probably looking at whoever's going to fulfill the left tackle spot, because that is big shoes. The right tackle spot. That's big shoes to fill because you are taking over Tristan Wirfs. And of course, for me, it's Rachaad White, because we all want this guy to succeed. He feels like he's got a punch to him. He gives me some Rojo vibes of the speed and the cut and how he moves. Just seems a little bit more put together and a little bit more mature than Rojo is right now. So I'm hoping those three cats, and obviously I have no idea who's playing left tackle, the right tackle position right now, but those are three people I really want to see step the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm with you already. Canty has got to. It's almost to the point where Canty is no pressure, but Canty, you're gonna have to be that guy. You're gonna have to be the guy if in the trenches that can get to the quarterback. Vita's job, I just want Vita to solely focus on stopping the run and being double teamed. So when he's double teamed Canty, that means you at least get you got to get a sack, or in the run. I want the run.
Tackle for loss.
Yes, tackles for loss. All of that.
Disrupting. Put your hand up. Put a hand up, bat the ball down. Golston's, Golston, is a master of that. He's like what, 6'6". Hicks is okay. Calais Campbell was, probably one of the best. And I know he's getting older, but we're gonna have to face him now. So that'll be a good matchup with with Wirfs and the young tackles and guards. So should be interesting.
I agree. I'm also looking at Carlton Davis. A lot of people are talking about Dean. I want to see Carlton. I've already said it, but I've told Slick all this. But Eric, if Carlton Davis can just catch the ball and when he interceptions, they will put him in the top best corners, because
the only reason that dude is not considered an elite corner. It's the only reason, because he can lock
4 picks this year at least.
Yeah, if he can get 5, because he can physically hang with almost any receivers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tell people a lot.
But they bounce off his brick hands.
And he shut down your Justin Jeffersons of the world.
Yep.
When we played in 2020, I don't give a damn he was a rookie, because everybody was already hyping up Justin Jefferson. But Carlton Davis that's another reason why I want to see what Carlton Davis is going to do now with a refined receiver and Justin Jefferson when we played him the first game. That's why I really want to know what Carlton Davis is going to be like. And for my other guy on defense, I'm looking at Winfield. Winfield has got to take that next step as well. I really want to know what Bowles. I think Bowles is going to use him as a versatile guy in the nickel and sometimes in blitzes. If he's utilized, he needs to be effective in all categories. If he can blitz and he can play like the nickel and do good in that, you have to put him in the elite. So I'm already expecting Winfield to take that next step. That's just me. Now on the offensive side, I'm looking at Durham. I want to see what the hell Durham, because when I've seen in college, he's a hell of a blocker. Now, if we could just have him become like an average pass catcher next to K. Dotton, who is going to be ascending. Oh man, talking about double tight end plays, shit, and then we can run the ball to help Rachaad White. So I'm looking at that, and then I actually am curious about Cody Mock. I want to know what he's going to bring. Whatever position he plays, what is he going to bring to this? If I want him to bring nastiness, because that's what he was in college. He could be. I want to see this. I want him to set the tone like Jensen does. So I need that. And then I know a lot of people will say this, but I'm also looking at Palmer. Palmer is basically our new Scotty Miller. He has basically elite speed. I want to see what he can do.
4.33.
Yeah, I want to see, hey, if you're not going to be given the ball, I want to see if you can still make corners and safeties say, shit, we have to mind him. We have to mind him. And I want him to be able to be a great decoy, because if he takes a corner and a safety, Slick already knows this, but Eric, I love crossing routes, and I love me some
Oh,
slants.
yeah. Especially in Madden. Yep. Take it to the house. Take it to the house, baby.
If Palmer can take a nickel and a safety to hesitate, Russell Gage or Chris
he's
Godwin,
gone. He's gone. He's gone.
I want to see more of that. So those are my three guys. So that is me in a nutshell. And I'm glad we're talking about players. Slick, we can get to this, but it was a big ass thing on Twitter where they wanted you to look on both sides of the ball. We can start with offense. Your all-time Bucs roster. You have your QB, you have your two running backs, two wide receivers, tight end, left tackle, left guard, center, and right tackle. And I want, since you are our special guest, Eric, I want you.
Oh God.
So let's start it off. Let's go.
I'll tell you what.
Let's go.
Be kind, because he's come into this cold. Maminu had. I've been writing a list here and there, so I got a list now. I know you've done yours, so let's give this gentleman a bit of a breather, because to be honest, he didn't know what we were preparing for, brother. So I'll go with offense. I'm going to stick with the standard, and everyone knows who QB1 is going to be. It's if you've got anyone to be shut up. Okay, CB12, pretty simple. Let's go with running back. Now, this one could be subjective. I've gone for Warwick Dunn. The guy was just shifty, elusive, and just a great human being. And then to complement him, you got at fullback the great Michael Stott. And let's go into the receiving core: Mike Evans, B. Jackson, Chris Godwin.
Okay.
Just straight up elite across the board. I got Jimmy Giles at tight end. I got Tristan Wirfs at right tackle. I got Ali Marpet at guard. I've got Jensen at center. I got Logan Mankins at guard, and I got the great Paul Kruger at left tackle. Going on to the defense, we got the legendary Leroy Salmon. We got Gerald McCoy at nose tackle. We got Warren Sapp at free tech, and we got Rice at Simeon Rice at end. Our backers are Sam Backer will be, or strong linebacker will be Levante David, Hardy Nickerson, and Derek Brooks. Corners are Rondé Barber and Aqib Talib. And then safeties, I've gone for John Lynch and Dexter Jackson.
All right. Damn, that's a hell of a list. See, Eric, I think Slick copied my homework. Because that's literally
hey, there's a lot of names. How about Joey Galloway? I mean, Joey Galloway was great with the Bucs.
Hey, why are you copying me too? Look, I'm about to just break my list off.
Nah, I just have a really good memory, Curry.
No, I hear you. No, Brady, of course. You'd be a fool not to have.
Oh yeah.
Warwick Dunn as well, because that's my guy. That was thunder and lightning. And with the line that I'm about to have, with the receiving core, I had Evans, V-Jax, Joey Galloway, and then if I want, and my fourth guy who would get in there, it actually would be Joe Jaravicious. Because he's man. That's the cleanup man. He did his thing. And then tight end Gronk. What the hell? That's the second greatest tight end of all time. Left tackle Donald Penn. Left guard Ali Marpet. Center Jensen. Right guard Gavin Joseph. And then right tackle Tristan Wirfs.
Okay.
You don't remember Gavin Joseph? You don't remember Gavin Joseph? Was
yeah.
And then if you go to the defense side, Warren
How
Sapp.
about Carl Nicks?
No,
Only simple.
Mercer. He couldn't get it done. Mercer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we ain't see his full potential. We didn't get the Saints Knicks. We got the Mercer. But defense, Sapp, Vita Vea, DN Rice, DN Selman, Derek Brooks, Levante David, and then for my corners, I got Rondé and Darrell Revis. Revis Island prime, prime shit. And then we do a flex, Nickerson too. You got to go with him. And then for my safeties, I got John Lynch and Antoine Winfield. You can't go wrong with that because both of them gonna knock you out.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, that's my squad. So now that you kind of got a feel to it, you have any ideas, Eric? Take it.
Yeah, I mean, quarterback Brady. I mean, that's simple. I'm gonna go old school with the running back. I know he only played here for a couple years, but how about LeGarrette Blount? I mean, hey, he had some good years with the Bucs.
Yes, it's your list. No one's wrong. It's who you feel. And I would never come to anyone if they turn around and say that the when you have your I would almost put it this way: if you have a this is your team that you feel is great. It's not who is the greatest of the greatest of all time. You could sit there and measure stats. There's probably other people that I've mentioned that could jump into right. It's what you're familiar with, what era of the Bucs you are. See, I know a little bit of the history, but I'm more of a modern day Bucs fan. I know AJ's that kind of 2000 early late 90s, mid 90s to late 90s where he probably got into the Bucs as a child, as a youngster, and it developed from there. And it depends on the same with you. So there'll be people who were there in the 70s going, what about this guy? And what about that guy? And what about this person? And no one's wrong. It's just what you feel, Like, if that's what you want to go with LeGarrette Blount. Hey, I loved it. LeGarrette Blount was the first jersey I ever got.
Yeah, so go ahead. And now you got another running back. Who's your other running back?
How about Doug or not? Doug Martin.
Dougie? Okay. Doug, yeah. All right. You get 2012, Doug, you all right. I hear you.
Yeah.
Didn't them two work well in 1 year?
What's up?
Doug Martin and LeGarrette Blount, didn't they have 1 year together?
Yeah, 1 year, barely 1 year. Yep. So that's a nice little. Okay. What about your receivers?
I'm gonna go. Gotta go, Mike Evans. And my boy Vince Jackson. Rest in peace, Vince Jackson. Great guy. Gone too soon. And then I'm gonna go. You go, Joe. Jared Vicious. That was a great catch.
Absolutely.
And then Gronk. Got to go with Gronk.
Fair enough.
All right. What about your left tackle?
Let's go Donald Penn.
He's that guy. Hey, we should have never got rid of him. That was a mistake. When he went to 49ers,
Raiders.
Raiders, I'm sorry.
Raiders.
Yeah, you're right. That hurt. Okay. Left guard?
I'm just gonna go with the modern. Just gonna go with Ali Marpet. Wish he was still playing. But I think he had like 2 concussions. Or maybe 1, I don't know. But I was surprised he still. I think he's like 33. But he was still a great guard. He was a top 5 guard.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. He was just straight up elite.
Yes. What about your center?
I got to go with Jensen.
You're not wrong on that one. Jensen is that guy. All right, and right guard.
Damn. I guess David Joseph. That's the name comes to mind because I just heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
right tackle.
I guess worse because yeah.
You know what you should have said? True Blood.
Woo! Jeremy True Blood.
Damn, Jeremy. and Jeremy Thugblood. That man was always into some shit.
Yeah.
Jeremy Trueblood. Good God, I'd be like, man, he wore his last name very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's go to the defensive side. Defensive tackles.
Warren Sapp, 99, baby. And Vita. Simeon Rice. Leroy Selman.
Yep.
I think that's one a lot of people agree on. I think, to be fair, the line is pretty set.
Yeah, that's an elite line right there. You got your passing and your run, so ain't nobody going through that. But all right, what about your linebacking core?
Levante David, and Derek Brooks.
Of course. Cornerbacks.
Ronnie Barber and Andrew Rivas.
See, told everybody like Revis Island and Rondé in their prime. If they played together for years, shit. All right, but how about your flex player? He could be a DN, cornerback, or linebacker.
Devin White.
Cool. All right. What about your two safeties?
I'm gonna go with Dexter Jackson and John Lynch.
Yes, the two Super Bowl pair. Now, I just want to throw this in here, guys. The one safety, only reason this is how I know Winfield picked up where he left off. My favorite safety outside of those guys. Do you remember Jermaine Phillips?
Just about.
Oh yeah, Florida State, right? Florida State.
Yeah, Jermaine Phillips was that guy. And then I got to throw another one in. These two, we had a hell of a safety run back in our time. Tenard Jackson.
Oh yeah, Tenard. Yep.
Are literally what Antoine Winfield is. He's both. Phillips was better at like hitting you. Mm-hmm. Tenard was better at coverage. Winfield is literally the second coming of both. Them two had a baby, and it was Antoine Winfield. Antoine Winfield is that guy. I think Antoine has the abilities of both, which is why he has such an upside. But these were great. Look, I love the fact that we all can agree on the fact that Brady was the quarterback. If you said anything else, the only other quarterback that I would have said is Doug Williams. Doug Williams is the only other quarterback that I would put in there. Because he didn't get a fair shot when he was in Tampa, and despite having the shitty line that he had and no true elite weapons to throw to, that he got that team to the NFC Championship against the Rams. So, and him and Leroy. I like how we all agreed on Leroy Selman and Sapp. It's just you can't go wrong.
Do you go Rice as well?
Yes, we did. It was Simeon Rice as well.
I think the only difference was I went G McCoy.
Yeah, that's it. That's your only difference.
That's the only difference.
And we all picked Levante and Derek Brooks. You can't go wrong with them two. Those are literally the two same type of players. They're just different. I love the fact that we draft two similar players in different generations. Now, Derek, of course, is a once in a lifetime generation linebacker, but Levante. Now this would be a good debate that we can say among Buck fans. What if Levante had the same type of defense Brooks had? Shit. Yeah. Let that sink in. Because I love Brooks, but Levante's faster. He's a faster Derek Brooks. He's faster. So, and I think he was slightly better in the blitz than Derek Brooks. So,
if Derek Brooks, he's the better. He was the better air talent.
Yeah. Now,
so I think you put it down to it. That's where he shone the most.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't go wrong with that. And then we all chose Rondé. Rondé is look.
We all picked 7 members each that are the same on the
exactly.
defense.
You can't go wrong with that. Rondé Barber is a top 10 corner. I can the 5 that I would definitely always say, I love you, Rondé, but these guys were way better than you. Prime time, Darryl Green, Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey, and it hurts. I don't want to say this, and I hate to admit it, but Revis. I get, but that's it. Those are the five guys that I'd say, okay, they're better. Everybody else is interchangeable because a lot of other corners that people will say is better than Rondé can't do what Rondé could do. Rondé could blitz, and Rondé could straight up tackle people. He's made Adrian Peterson fumble like at least 3 times by himself. So that's why he's top 10. I know some people say Ty Law over Rondé. I disagree. I disagree 100%. Ty Law can't do what Rondé could do. People just say Ty Law because he's with the Patriots, but the Patriots also had Vince Wilfork and Harrison and all those people as well. But that's just me. That is just me. But I wanted to bring this back up again, guys. I know we were talking about it a little bit, but Eric, what is your opinion on the running back position? Is it a lost art, or why do you feel that position is getting disrespected in the opinions of some people?
You get like running backs are like a dime a dozen. Just talking like Bucs or just in general?
In general. Just in general.
In general. I don't know. I just think it's undervalued. I mean, there are a lot of great running backs. Saquon Barkley. I think Rashad White can be like a bigger Alvin Kamara type. Christian McCaffrey. I just think it's undervalued.
Okay. What about you, Slick? We know how you feel.
I did the math on this today, and how many teams in the last decade do you think won with an elite running back?
In the last decade?
In the last decade. And we're talking over 1,000 yards, high-end touchdowns. So we're saying over 8 touchdowns. So over 1,000 yards, over 8 touchdowns. How many do you think?
I'd say only 2.
And can you name them?
I would say Marshawn Lynch and
Adrian Peterson.
What Super Bowl did he win?
No, Adrian Peterson never even been to a Super Bowl. I say Marshawn Lynch because he helped Russell Wilson. He was the sole reason why they had balance. And the other running back I want to say is LeGarrette. Shit, no.
It is LeGarrette Blount. Well done.
What's up?
It was LeGarrette Blount. He had 1,000 yards and I think it was 10 touchdowns or 11 touchdowns.
See? Hey.
There are a couple more.
So not
go back to 2012. Ravens.
Oh, yes, right.
Name that nobody wants to talk about.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
Oh,
yep.
We're gonna put some respect on Ray Rice. First of all, the NFL fucked him over because they knew about the shit, but that's a whole other topic. Ray Rice was the second coming of Jamal Lewis to that team.
Yep.
And he was actually better because he was a lot more elusive. Damn. So it's been 3 running backs.
There's another one. Would you give me a minute to get there? I've got to go through all the Super Bowls. I did this about a week ago after we had our discussion. I looked them all up and I was like, there's that one there, that one there. So I'm just trying to remember who was the other one. Who was the Philly? No, it wasn't it. It wasn't the Philly.
It wasn't Ajayi, right?
No. Let's go for the Super Bowls. So we have 2012. We got that one. 2013 was Marshawn. 2014, nobody. I don't believe anyone had, because it was Patriots, and Patriots don't run running backs that much. In all fairness, 2015 was the Broncos. CJ, I can't remember his name. CJ somebody. CJ Miller. Anderson. CJ Anderson. He didn't quite get
he
there.
He was never elite. He wasn't elite. Yeah, he wasn't.
No, but I'm talking about that exact year. Like that year leading up to it, I'm talking, because you can have a guy who can almost make it. Yeah.
Wasn't Melvin Gordon on that Broncos team around that time?
He may have been, but he wasn't the lead rusher.
No. Oh no, and he didn't come to his own.
He's a Charger to begin with, wasn't he, Melvin Gordon?
Yeah,
I thought he was drafted by the Chargers. 2016 was Atlanta. So the last one is Atlanta's guy. I'm trying to remember his freaking name.
Devontae, not you mean
Devontae Freeman.
Devontae Freeman.
Freeman. Yep.
Devontae Freeman. Those are the only 4 wins. And sorry, he was on Atlanta, so he didn't win shit.
No,
So he doesn't count.
no.
So we go on to the next one. You know what I mean? Todd Gurley. When the Rams lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. Those are the only 4 guys to win a Super Bowl that you can count on their year. They were an elite running back. Every other, that's 4 out of 10. Ain't bad. But then you look at the other teams, it balances out to even less. So the team who came second. So you've really got, in the space of 10 years, not that many guys to have done it. But what's remained consistent? Quarterbacks. Mainly because of one person only, two people only. That's Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Yes.
But the point being is, you don't need to spend the money on a run. If you can spend your money, you can buy a running back room for the entire price of an elite running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's not with the extra expenditure. So you can go and get yourself an entire running back. Draft one. The moment that you draft them, you can hit them with a. I hate saying it because it's harsh, but it is what it is. You can hit them with a transition tag or a franchise tag, and then you've potentially got 6 years out of them. That's why I guarantee you, drafting late first round running backs will be popular. Why? Because you get an extra year, you get the bolt-on year, and then you get the franchise year. That's 6 years where you have got no real mega commitment to them, and you can walk away after 6 years. That's what's going to be popular. It's going to be popular to have a guy, unless there's someone absolutely amazing there, go and get your running back in the bottom of the first. Why? Even because it's even worth trading up from your second round to get to the last pick of the first round, just so you can get him, because you get that bolt-on year, and you've got 6 years with this guy, and then you can potentially wash your hands of him and never have paid him a solidly guaranteed contract ever. Harsh, but true.
Yes. I'll just say this: the running back position is undervalued, but it's not due to the running backs. I've said this before. It's the way that the game is headed. The way that the game is headed, it's more to benefit the offense, and it's turning almost into, it's literally like a WE shit. It's more of the drama and stories behind everything, and it's becoming to the where they want it to be entertaining instead of competitive. We want to be real people who watch the game of football watch it for the competitive. That is the entertainment. We loved watching the Steelers and Ravens. The damn score could have been 6-3, but it was a hell of a game because everybody was playing at the best of their level. I think that's what's going on. But mark my words there, Slick. Mark my words, fellas. I'm gonna tell you this. I like that hat. That hat is fire.
Yes, sir.
Mark my words, fellas. You heard it here first. If I'm the running backs, this could be a blessing in disguise. Hear me out, and I'm gonna try to make this short as possible. Slick has already said a lot of times the league doesn't recognize defenders like the tackles or linebackers unless they get sacks. If you're not a guy who can get at least 10 sacks, you ain't shit in their eyes.
Yep.
You're a rotational player.
You're a rotational, but I think what's going to happen if running backs if the league ain't careful because of already, and then again, defenses can't get too physical. Now you can't strike the quarterback too much, otherwise you're going to get a penalty. But they're going to start turning these guys into just finesse pass rushers. And one thing you need, Slick, you can attest to this, Eric, on defense, when you stop the run, you need a nasty physical motherfucker out there that knows how to hit, that knows how to make those. That's why ghosting is so valuable. Ghosting doesn't have to worry about necessarily getting to the quarterback, but running backs, they hate because with his long body, and he's a physical guy. Sue was another one. Vita Vea is great at stopping the run. But the linebackers, if they are like your TJ Watts, if everybody is trying to turn into that and they don't know how to stop the runs, running backs will thrive because one, they're not going to be used as much, so they can be healthier. So when they do run, they can be, and if they're effective, now they won't have so much pressure on them because if I'm going against a bunch of finesse ass pass rushers and you guys can't stop the run, I'm gonna have my way with you because a lot of pass rushing linebackers are gonna get smaller. I think they're not going to be as physical. Oh, not necessarily smaller, but they won't be as physical. To stop the run, you must be super physical. I think pass rush is more about being. It's more about efficiency and finesse. Not to say that it's all finesse, but you have to really outmaneuver your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Linebackers are not going to be able to stop the run, and running backs, true running backs, they'll be able to thrive if they continue this road. You might disagree or agree to disagree, but mark my words. If I'm a running back now, so I'm not gonna get 20 carries anymore. That's all right. If all I get is 10 or 12, I'm gonna make it count. And you guys, you defensive guys, you're so much stuck on the pass. Now I can take over the game because a running game sets the tone for the passing game.
Yep.
People forget that. That's why Marshawn uh,
Play action pass.
and more than that, when you move, the line gets offensive line gets when they become more aggressive and physical, and they can just manhandle and maul a defensive line. First of all, you're physically wearing that defensive line out by doing that. So then, by the time they try to get their lungs back in for a pass, now you got them where you want them. So that's just me. I always look at the Seahawks as that because Marshawn Lynch was a prime example of okay, if you think you're gonna stop the pass, you got to stop the run first. But that's just me. That's my opinion on the running back situation. There will be a value. It could be a blessing in disguise, but it's not the running back. It's the way that the NFL is going. If they're trying to get the Herberts and the Burrows and the Mahomes to be the face of the franchise of the game, so now these guys you're putting a lot of stress on the defense because they can't hit them. Let's think about this, guys. And Slick, 15 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago, if a quarterback can throw for 330 yards, you were a fucking elite. And the reason why is because quarterbacks back in the 90s and early 2000s, you had to worry about getting your head knocked over. And then they don't have that anymore. That's why you see the Mahomes shit where he does these little layup passes and going like this and doing the trickery and all that. Because if he played in
And a
2002,
sidearm pass too.
yeah, if he did all that shit in 2002, Ray Lewis would have a field day mopping him off the floor. So it's just the rules of the game. The rules of the game, if they continue this way, we'll be playing flag football. And Slick, you might be able to. Would you play flag football for $600,000?
There you go.
Sign me up. So that's my opinion on the way. It's not the running backs. It's just where the league needs to go. If the league goes back to 2000s football, then you got a different story. You won't have a lot of quarterbacks getting overpaid because there are a lot of quarterbacks who shouldn't be getting paid. Like to me, Dak Prescott is a $75 million quarterback at most, not 100. 75, if that.
Absolutely. Look, I think the thing with the whole running backs, I think the best thing they can do is take a page out of the Kamara book and the guy who's formerly with Carolina, Christian McCaffrey. They need to take up. They need to be able to turn themselves into slot receivers as well. That way, they become almost like a triple threat. You need to have that because that's what's going to give you the money. That's what's going to get you chipping, being able to block chip, how much you can, how well you work in motion, how well you can running the football, catching the football, and being able to block. You need to be able to do all three of those incredibly well to a point that your best pass catcher isn't as good as you. The best pass catching running back isn't as good as you. The best blocking running back isn't as good as you, and the best running back isn't as good as you. So you get to stay on the field as much as you can, and then you can justify that kind of thing. Like you said in our last show, AJ, Marshall Faulk was almost a breed to himself in a sense that he was ahead of his time.
He changed the game. He changed the running back position.
Absolutely, but then it kind of reverted a little bit back, and it's going to go back to him.
Yeah.
It's going to go back to guys like that, and I tell you what, I won't be surprised. Big guys carrying the football will never go away, because as much as defense is always changing, football's always changing, and people are always adapting. So what you're going to find in about 5 years' time is everyone on the line is going to be big. Quarterbacks are going to have a little bit more time to throw the ball, and then one team's just going to turn around and go, you know what? Fuck the rules. We're not going to follow the fucking NFL's thing. We're going to have a bruising back, and he's just going to run it up. But those linebackers, if you remember correctly, Levante David was undersized for his position. He's not considered undersized anymore, and nor is Devin White. They're considered average for their positions. That's because the poundage has come off the middle linebackers. Now, on paper, they would be, about 10 years ago, they would be just about outside linebackers. Some would argue really thick safeties.
Yeah.
Or pure pass rusher. And now the game's changed, that they want more speed on the defensive. You're finding that the people want the undersized guys a little bit more, because being undersized on defense isn't a bad thing if it means you can make up for it in the pass game, because that's where you're going to be effective. Hence why the nickel position is completely revolutionized. And that, in my opinion, has always been why Rondé Barber should be in the Hall of Fame, because he set the tone for how to play the nickel position, which is one of the most popular positions in football. How they named a fucking defense after it. It's called the 4-2-5 defense. Where you don't even bother. There are high school football teams up and down the country. My team runs it as well. Where you don't even have a middle linebacker anymore. An outside backer anymore. You just have a hybrid safety. So you have a hybrid safety, a free safety, and a strong safety.
That's right. No, you are absolutely right, and I like good call on that, because you know who they really started looking at when it came to undersized, the Buccaneers, when we won that Super Bowl. Levante Davis, Devin White, because we know in football, one of the biggest sayings, the low man wins, the lower man wins. Sometimes your undersized linebackers can do things and get into certain positions where your big linebackers couldn't. It's so funny, like you said, 20 years ago, your linebackers were 6'3" and 250. You didn't want to get hit by him, but the Marshall Faulks and Barry Sanders of the world was like, shit, you got to catch me first, fatty. I'm gonna by the third quarter, you suck and win. You're like, woo, them guys who had them big ass neck things in the back, that was the linebackers, they would be like,
the cowboy collar.
Yeah, them Ken Norton things. They come out and be like, oh shit, I'm tired, coach. It's just the third quarter. I'm tired, coach, because they were so big they couldn't move, and that's why they had to rotate them. And then when you put that second string guy in, it goes to shit. I think you guys are right about that. They want more speed, but a lot of times you're taking the physical part of the game out for these players, because like I said, if these guys become more finesse and start just thinking about the pass, I'm just going to run the ball down your throat. Now it's like, oh, okay. And we're going to, and like you said, the big backer, your job is to fuck these linebackers up, these finesse guys. Because I want them, because then when we do pass, I want them to be so sore where running is just not an option. Like, damn, my hips are bruised because the LeGarrette Blunts of the world tore my hip up. Football is just a game of adjustment, and that's it. You adjust and you adapt. If you do it the right way, backs. But the biggest thing is health, because the backs that we loved in our times, they were great, but they could not stay healthy, especially if they had a shitty line. So these guys, these running backs, Rachaad White put it this way: Rashad, I hate to put the pressure on you, but you can't be out for more than 3 games. If you're out 5 games or more, the running back position is going to die. Not all the way, but it hurts for you to get that money like they used to. You're not going to get the $50 anymore. Like y'all got to cut that shit out now. Like you said, if you're not Marshall Faulk, you can forget it. That's why Marshall Faulk, and I've said this, Eric, and people might disagree. That's why I said he's a top 5 back of all time. He revolutionized what it is to be back today. Now, people say Barry Sanders. I love Barry, but Barry wasn't a blocking running back like Marshall. Marshall literally revolutionized that position. And ask Kurt Warner. Kurt would say that was the star of the team. not me. He was the one who gave me the confidence because he walked up to Kurt and gave him the heart thing and said, "Hey, you're the guy now." But Marshall, everybody knows Marshall was that guy. Everybody knows that Marshall is a once in a lifetime type of player. People will say LT. I'm like, if there's no Marshall, there's no LT. LT couldn't even still do what Marshall Falk could do. Uh, I just think like Slick said, you guys just got to adapt. The league is basically saying, yeah, if we ain't about to pay no guy who only runs 3 yards a game, 40 million. Damn that. What you gonna do? Blocking. And Slick is already know. I've said this too, Eric. You better block. If you can block, your quarterback first of all will appreciate it. He's gonna be like, yes. The quarterback is giving me an extra 2 seconds to make shit happen. Thank you, my guy. I don't care what happens.
It's like Rojo. Rojo couldn't block.
Nope.
Yeah, you're that extra lineman. You're that extra lineman guy. So
you also the guy who is blocking from the backfield is generally coming on to the biggest threat to the pass rusher.
Yep.
So there you go.
If we would have had somebody doing that for
I think when I'm talking about his free running, like their ability to cut and speed that they have.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about blocking or anything like that, but their speed technique was very similar. Their ability to break out. The only difference, one seems a lot more of that's my opinion on that. They just have a similar running style.
Yeah, they do. But Rashad has a better mind than Rojo.
For sure. And he's tougher.
And he's tougher and he knows how to pick himself up. One thing the Bucs are very notorious of doing, I'm not gonna lie, they do like to draft people who are reminders of what somebody else should have been. Because when we think of Devin White, we think of what's his face that was here before him. He was
Quan Alexander.
That's right. Quan is basically Devin White is what we thought Quan was going to be for us. Yeah, they're both headaches, but they both have talent. But I think Devin is still better. But it's the same thing with Rashad. Rashad is Rojo literally, but with a better mindset. And it's not a bad thing.
I think there's some slight differences between them. It's just that they're a similar type of player, and there are plenty of other players around the league that are a similar type of player to him as well. So it doesn't mean he's going to be a carbon. We hope, just like you, Ben. We hope he's not going to be a carbon copy. But I guaranteed that we all want to forget Rojo because that was a wasted talent. I always believed that he could become better. And then in the 2020 season, it started to look like it was coming into fruition. It was almost like the guy threw in the towel because he had a bit of competition.
Yes, he did. And he got intimidated by Leonard Fournette. But I'm looking at Ben. Yeah, Ben, we do. We really do. We do. I think, but he is basically Ben is what I'm talking about when it comes, if the league continues to go the way that they go, you're going to have a lot more JTSs that have this athletic ability, but they lack the physical fundamentals to just stop runs. And then they're going to wear themselves out to where when a big back finally comes in there, your Nick Chubbs, who can do it all. Now they're going to wear them out. But yes, JTS definitely needs to step up.
I don't see it from him.
I
always want to be proven wrong. So if JTS wants to prove me wrong, I'll sit here and go, hey, he proved me wrong. Fantastic. That's what I want. But I actually see more coming out of Anthony Nelson, and I would expect to see the development of Yaya Diaby.
How about Servaca Dennis? Or Servacia Dennis?
Well, I mean, he's a middle linebacker, which means he needs to take time. He'll be taking reps from Levante David or Devin White, so I don't see that happening. What I do see happening is he'll do a shit ton of special teams. He'll do a shit ton of special teams, and the moment, if you're smart and he's playing well, you start trying to plugging him in on defense to allow him to cover for the linebacking position. So he'll cover for Levante, he'll cover for this person, just to get a feel for him in games. But I don't see him this year really doing a heck of a lot. If
No,
the
and he
Buccaneers
could be
not, they've got to decide early on, probably about halfway through the season, what they're going to do about Devin White. And I think by middle of the season, so week 8, week 9, depending on where our bye is, so maybe week 10, that's when the Buccaneers will sit and go, are we keeping this cat? And if they turn around and go, no, then they're going to start to plug Savassia in a little bit more just to see what he can do, because they've got to set the future up. Yeah, if they're like, okay, we got to move from Devon, or Levante turns around and says he's not coming back, which I don't think he would until the end of the season anyway. But they are not guaranteed that they could walk up. The worst case scenario is the Buccaneers have neither of them, and then Sebastian Dennis comes in almost on a rookie season. That's the worst case scenario. So they don't want that to happen. They will have to make a decision about what they're going to do about Devin White around about mid-season, so they can start to plug Sebastian Dennis in and see what he can do. And I'm not saying you won't see him start unless someone gets injured, but they're going to give him reps, fourth quarter reps. They're going to give him a couple of reps here and there. Someone needs to get their arm looked at or their leg looked at, or just go under the tent and get checked out, or what have you. He's going to go in and get those kind of reps, and they're going to have, and then maybe they let him stay in the entire drive rather than plugging him out and putting Levante straight back in, unless it's crucial 4th down, 4th and 1, or a crucial cool marker. Then that's what you're going to see, because the Buccaneers just can't risk sitting on a guy and then throwing him to the wolves next year, especially if Levante David doesn't come back.
I agree. Everything that you just said, Slick, is right. They slowly get him in, get him slowly acclimated, and he's got a guy in Levante who I'm sure would love to wouldn't mind teaching him. But I'm looking at Ben's comment. He said Nebraska's wide receivers and Bucs never usually work out. See Kenny Bell. Also because Scotty Miller was still here. Scotty's no longer here. Scotty, as we all know, probably him and Brady did the second best, greatest Buccaneer moment. Nothing's topping that Rondé shit. So Buck fans, we already know
that was a good shot.
That was a great shot.
NFC Championship game.
Yes, a great shot. So that's why I think Kenny didn't work out. Scotty was still here. Scotty's not here anymore. So that guy is gonna have to step up. He is gonna be the new Scotty. I'm excited for him because look, Slick knows me, Eric. I'm a man of, I'm gonna fuck you up in the spread if I got the weapons. You got Evans, Gage, Godwin, my man from Nebraska, Palmer with that speed,
Trey Palmer,
and then if Otten, oh no, and then you have a mobile quarterback. Oh yeah, I dare you to try to blitz. Oh, and then if Rashad can block just average, oh, I dare you. I'm gonna have a field day with you. I'm going to make you pay. I'm running the hell out of that spread, and then I'm gonna do a bunch play. Woo! Evans, my man Palmer, and I might switch it up and say, you know what? You go deep, Evans, because we know they're gonna have to take a corner and a safety for Evans. We know that, and then you're gonna run this short little route up the middle, Palmer, with your speed. What linebacker is gonna get a guy who runs a 4.33? And it's just a simple pitch and catch.
No.
You know, we've seen that before. Brady did it with Perriman against the Bills when we won the game.
Yep.
It was a simple crossing route. Oh,
that was crazy, man. I was at that game, man. I was going nuts, man. My friend picked it up. I'm like, man, he just picked it up like it was a feather, man. We were going crazy, man.
It was perfect. If you set up crossing routes are so devastating because a lot of linebackers the league is getting faster, but still a lot of linebackers do not have the speed where they can keep up with guys like that. And if you realize the Bucs have, when they use the crossing route, it serves them well. We did it with Jared Vicious in the NFC Championship against the Eagles. That's where You Go Joe comes from. It was a crossing route, and a linebacker was on him, and the linebacker didn't have enough speed. I love crossing routes because if you do it right, you will make defenses pay, because then that's another way I like to set up. Now if they spread out some more on the outside, all right, switch this shit up and run up the middle. Now they get scared. That's just me, though. That is just my opinion. Eric, I'm a person of spread. I know spread don't work that much in NFL, but when you got what we have across the board and you got a mobile quarterback in Baker who can improvise, you said it earlier. That's Jameis. That's our life. Jameis. As long as he doesn't have turnovers like Jameis, we all right. If he has,
If you win, you get 3 points.
he can have 40% slick, guys, 40% less turnovers than Baker, and that's a good season right there. As you said, if he gets 4,000 yards and 25 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, he's gonna demand money, and he gets the playoff.
For sure. I mean,
Similar year he had his rookie year with the Browns. You know, they went. I think they went 10-7.
10
I think he had like 10-6. Okay, he had like 28 touchdowns and 8 picks. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's some Josh Freeman shit. So I agree.
Just don't do Jameis 30-30.
Yeah. Jameis is gonna have his own like 30 for 30. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And we all know, people know me. I've always tried to defend him, but certain shit is just, we had fun. Jameis was the toxic girlfriend. You had your good time, but you had to let her go because she wasn't worth shit. So it is what it is on that option. But I do want to ask these last few questions, and then I'll let you guys get out because Eric Slick is on the other side of the world.
Hey,
We want our brother
what
to
time is it? What time is it?
It's about 4 a.m. right now.
Okay, I got family over in Spain, so I'm actually heading over there in about 5 weeks.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
While you're in Spain, baby.
I actually, last time I was there, I met Tyler Johnson, probably with one of the best catches in the wild card game against the Saints.
Yeah.
And then he got cut the next day.
Damn, I know that's the business. But no. All right. Well, I want to ask you guys this. If you had a chance, and I know this is crazy. This is like a fantasy scenario. If you bump into the Bucs at One Buck Place, what is the number one message you would give this Bucs team for this season? Eric, what would be your message to the Bucs?
Just go out there and have fun. Media is, I think. Oh, some people are like, oh, you're gonna go 3-13. Hey, what if we go 10-7 and shock the world, win a division, win a playoff game? Just don't give up. Just don't try and get. Don't let the media get to you. Just go out there, do business. Like Mike Evans, he came in with his helmet. So it's a training camp. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Go Bucs.
My man, what about you, Slick?
I'll do this a little bit of coach style. I'll be like, guys, what they will doubt about you, they'll doubt your fucking fight. So show them what fight you fucking got. Show them time after time the guys from Tampa can fucking fight. Whether it's out on the field or it's in the fucking street, we are coming. And let that fucking tidal wave fucking hit them, because then they know the Bucs are coming. Fire them fucking cannons.
Damn straight. I love it. I love it. I would say play for each
So
other.
you're cornered 10 yards off. Sorry, that made me laugh. This is such a you comment.
Oh God, Fred, don't play with your corners. Yeah, of course, Fred. Thank you, Fred. That. Well, shit, I'm gonna say that. That's something I'll say to the coaches, that not the players. But my thing is, play for each other, not your ego. That is the message that I would tell the Bucs. Play for each other. Fuck everything else. Do not get caught up, even if you are doing good, because that is the number one thing that hurts the Bucs for our entire franchise when we do get a little success. Because let's be real. Let's say if the Bucs, I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is a fucking hot take. Let's say the Bucs by the bye week, or by the midseason, the Bucs are 7-2. First of all, you would have exceeded so many. Exactly.
Yeah. But you know what? I know where you're going with this. It's got,
if you're
it's
7-2,
got the chance to implode.
Exactly. And then we
don't let it go to your head.
Exactly. We'll never know the full story. But my theory is the second season with Brady and them, ego started clashing between the players and the coaches. So at this point, no matter how successful you think you are, just go, guys. We ain't done shit yet. Let's play for the next man next to us. and put our egos to aside, because we put our egos to aside, we will host a trophy up. So with that being said, Eric, we'll drop off, but thank you for your time, Eric. Is there some? Can we can you tell the fans to follow you anywhere? Twitter, Instagram, social media.
Just Eric Marino 94 on Twitter. Big Bucs fan. Got to go with the Ray shirt. Bucs hat. Hopefully be at the season opener, or excuse me, the home opener against the Bears, and then the big Monday night game against the Eagles. That's gonna be a lot of Eagles fans there, man.
Yeah, give him a nice royal treatment.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, though, Eric. And as always, go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Yes, sir.
And for you out there, guys, thank you for another episode of Bucs Report, the Aftermath. Again, always continue to catch us either on Monday, Wednesday, and feel free to join in the conversations. As you see, we love when Buck fans can come together. We just talk football, not just Buck. We always love Buck football, but we talk football as well. And just get ready for me, because while the season is going to start, you'll see me at It's About Bucking Time. I'm going to be a lot more active. And also, I have a lot of merchandise. You can go and check out my links, and it's a lot of motivational things, and it's a lot of stuff towards the Bucs. But yeah, again, thank you for your time, and I will see you guys later. And always, go Bucs!
Go Bucs, brother. Well, that's the end of the show. Much appreciated for everyone that came and took the time to watch it. Next week, I'm gonna just have to think. We have my team has its penultimate game this weekend, so I will have to prep for game upcoming this week. So it will be Wednesday next week, and then we should be back to our normal same bad play, same bad channel, and go kick some ass. Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!